everyone, welcome to Bad Science Sunday, where we take a humorous approach to debunking science misinformation on the internet. And today we have the illustrious, the sinister porpoise. Also known as the mad computer scientist. And Sinister, tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you do?
I am the Sinister Porpoise. When you think about Sinister Porpoises, think of the Sinister Porpoise. On the Mad Computer Scientist channel, I discuss math, computer science, and technology topics that are of interest to me. And tonight, as far as I can tell, we are covering someone who wants to be spirit science for smart people.
Smart is objectively wrong, but I hear you. Morgue likes to think of himself as elevated. He used to be a Christian and possibly a Mormon. I forget. He no longer is, but he has not thrown away his religious beliefs. He's traded them in for something else. And we'll talk about that very, very, very soon. Birthday girl! Holy shit! Actually, Ember's at Vandy, I think, because Miss Ember is supposed to be my co-host. Well, Ember is my co-host. However, Vandy's going to be manning the video because Ember is technically challenged from time to time. So, and it's a birthday. You can't put a girl to work on a birthday.
Oh, it's the technical difficulties I keep suffering are largely due to OBS, though probably not entirely.
Who are you?
I am Ember of Better Than Ember here on YouTube. I do a whole bunch of other stuff too, including a what did we call it? A opportunistic morning show with a bunch of other girls.
That was your brainchild. That was beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah, I it's fun. I hope we can keep it all going. But that you may have caught on this channel or one of a number of other channels. We're still improvising things, but we're hoping to make it a thing that sticks around because it's really cool to have something that focuses on the voices and perspectives of women. But I also do a whole bunch of other stuff, including do a segment called Good News on the Transpositions Weekly. Occasionally you'll find me on Skeptic Haven. Occasionally you'll find me other places. So many other places, which is why I have a link tree sort of thing on my website, betterthanember.com.
Yes, and I also have I think I have the link tree. Did you? I don't know. Everything you sent me last time I redid in the box here. So I hope that's all still accurate. If it's not, let me know. I'll change it.
Maybe.
But in the meantime, today is Ember's birthday.
Yeah.
And she is turning beautiful today. We love it. And so yeah, I'm really excited. So man, you did a stream before this. You're doing this stream now. And then we're gonna take a nap, wake up at the ass crack of dawn, and start streaming again at 9 a.m., which is dawn enough for me. Which, oh my God, next week, if I don't know if I do another, I'm gonna be channel stuff. I'll talk about all this again at the end. I am doing 2 streams tomorrow, and then I think I'm off for the week. Actually 2 weeks. I am moving. I'm in Maryland now. I'm moving to Arizona next weekend, so we're not going to be doing a show. So you're going to have to get your Maya fill Thursday. So last Thursday, last Friday, today, tomorrow, Tuesday, and then you're Maya-less until not next Sunday, but the second. Is the second Sunday in? Where's my
calendar? So you're off for 2 weeks.
Kind of. That's what because I'm streaming. I'm streaming twice tomorrow and then on Tuesday. Oh, it is. Well, almost 2 weeks. Yeah, because I'm off on the 31st. We're not doing a stream, and then
in the first weekend in September.
So it'll be 7th. The 7th of September is when our next VSS.
Oh, hey, I can see. Okay, sorry.
Yay.
Yeah.
And as someone who has to wake up at 5:30 tomorrow morning, I sympathize.
Yeah, we're trying to see if we want to. We're trying to see if we want to do I mean, I don't know if we'll be able to do a morning show because it just, I don't want to like, I mean, the beautiful Ryan, she's with Chris every day, and I don't want to step on their toes or, ask. I don't want to break up the group, and so we're trying to figure things out about what we want to do as a group, long term or sporadically, or what that's going to look like. We'll let you guys know by or before Tuesday. Sorry. Um, but
We're actually going to talk about it on Monday to get some audience input. See if anybody has a brilliant solution, but we'll figure it out. I mean, the whole thing has been improvised. Like Wednesday, Chris was like, "Hey, I'm going on vacation. Bye." And so I bugged Ryan. I'm like, "What are we gonna do? Let's do a thing." And we did the thing. So it's been improvised the whole way through. But it's so cool. It's so much fun, and I think it's kind of important. So it'd be nice if we could figure out a way to make it stable, even if it becomes like once a week or whatever. Like just something that sticks around would be cool.
that would be cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna have to see because who knows? Everything's kind of a moving target. I know that I'm looking for a job. I'll be looking for another job as soon as I move. Ember is looking for a job. Bree, I believe, is looking for a job. And then Ryan's otherwise disposed. So we'll work it out. And yeah, we're looking for comments for you guys, what you would like. And, so sleep on it. And if you have any ideas, we'd love to hear from you. And but tomorrow we'll all be back on our own channels, streaming separately. And then we would love to see anyone who is not working and will be up at that time, because again, I know it's 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and then all the way up to whatever 9 Eastern. And then I don't know. It seems to work out really well for the Europeans and the Aussies. So it is what it is. But all that aside, that's my news. Vandy, anything you want to get out of there before you?
I don't think I have any news.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, we're all wearing our tiaras in honor of Ember's birthday. Ember, I did come up. I do have a present for you.
Oh, goody.
You know what day it is? Hell yeah. Do I know what day it is? Hell yeah. Is it the best day ever? Cause it's my bestie's birthday. Fuck yeah, happy birthday.
Yeah, and the clucking that was pretty neat too. I
did not know the most people were born in August. That is new news to me.
Ever so slightly, but you can tell it's a man. His math is slightly off. Because men go, 9 months. It was November. It's
Okay,
40,
that type of math.
40
people
weeks.
colloquially say 9 months, but it's
Right.
40 weeks. My oldest, I happen to know the conception date. I was there.
Nice.
Its babies conceived in October get born in August.
Awesome. Interesting. October. So, all that Thanksgiving candy, just
Halloween.
chocolate is, yeah. I mean, sorry.
That too.
Halloween. Yes. Halloween candy acting as an aphrodisiac. That's got to be what it is.
It's the spookiness. It's the hold me close, I'm scared.
Yeah, I'm scared. I'm scared. Please hold me. Big, handsome man. Right.
Oh, you're supposed to
That math.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of bad math, let's see if everybody. Oh, hey, look at us! All right, I did it, Vandy. What do we have today?
We've got our friend Morgue official with this video. Math proves God exists. Morgue has an astonishing 647,000 subscribers, which
is astonishing indeed.
It is astonishing, yes.
And this video from a year ago has 32,000 views.
32,000 people who actually, this isn't an uncommon stance. A lot of people believe that math proves God.
Yes, I was mentioning on my birthday show earlier that a long time ago, Bill Craig tried to modify his Kalam cosmological argument to, instead of the universe exists therefore God, to be math exists therefore God. And he made it longer and more complicated, but it was still bullshit. and it was kind of fun to debunk, though, because it showed how little this PhD of philosophy understood about how math works.
Oh, well, Morgue does not have a PhD. So
Even then.
imagine, his understanding of math.
So Mork has, in the past, also claimed that Euler's identity proves reincarnation.
Oil is a identity? What?
Euler's identity, the most beautiful equation in all of mathematics, in my humble opinion,
Oh, okay. Sorry.
is the statement that e to the power of I times pi equals -1.
Oh, that sounds like a Morgue idea. Yeah.
And it comes from the e to the I theta equals cosine I sine theta. So it doesn't.
Is that trigonometry?
Yeah. And it's a beautiful connection between the exponential function and the trigonometric functions. But it doesn't prove reincarnation. What is he talking about?
Remember, he's spirit science for smart people.
Oh, hey, Vandy, you know math. You speak math. You read math.
It's true.
Yeah.
And
I wonder because there are aspects of what he says here that I don't disagree with.
I know, and which is why I was saying to you, like, just watch it, because I know
I did watch it.
I know you hate watching things all before we go live, and I hear you, I do. But if you,
I watched it.
If you, I can't have you siding with Morgan on this, because I got to the point where I was no longer screaming after every sentence.
Okay.
And I'm doing well. I'm feeling good. I got my juice. This is margarita, strawberry margarita. I'm feeling good. But if you start agreeing with Morgue that math equals God, I swear to God,
I'm not going to agree with him on that. I'll agree with him on the other things, but I won't agree on that.
there is one thing I think that should be brought up as to why people want to try to use math or sometimes computer science to prove God. Fortunately, they don't use computer science quite as often. Okay. And that's because in the hard sciences, you can't prove things absolutely.
Right.
If you can come up with a math proof, it's absolute.
Sure.
It's always going to do something, or this statement is false. And I think they're thinking it's like, if we get math to prove this, then we've proved God. Redeemed Zoomer has done this. This guy has done this.
Which I get, and I do appreciate people taking the stranglehold off science, like, well, if evolution isn't true, therefore God. It's like, it doesn't prove or disprove a God. But just stop trying to make and so Vandy, I can't thank you enough for having a conversation with one of my brothers. And Ember, that was the last time you were it was you and Vandy on was that Memorial Day? And you talked to my brother for like an hour, I think, after the stream.
Yeah.
I do appreciate that, because you backed up everything I said, but like in more depth and nuance than I had the verbiage, so I do appreciate that. But I think and it was actually really helpful to me, because what I'm finding is that scientists have noticed that Christians are relating to strong men, not straw men. Well, that aside, strong men, right? So you got to say it with your chest and with authority, and then they'll believe you. However, they're asserting things as facts that are just what we happen to know at the time. Given the evidence that we have, this is the current scientific model, and we're asserting that as if it is like, this is a fact. We know it. This came out of the mouth of God. And I think that, and I know I've talked to other people about this, but I want to reiterate here that I think we need to, one, be more comfortable with the conversations we're having. before you go into a conversation about something, have a stronger knowledge, or we all, if you're here, you have the ability to contact, and not necessarily the people, the science nerds with me today, but we can all either, if we can't get you the answer, we can connect you with somebody who can maybe help you get the answers to the person, to your special idiot.
So,
Which I'm sorry, I'm wrapping up, I swear. We need to start talking about things as they are, because a lot of Christians think, well, science is set in stone, and just like the Bible is set in stone, and science is here to replace the Bible, and that's not at all what it does, what it's trying to do, or and we need to stop talking about it as if it is. We need to have the conversations where this is the information we have, and based on this, we've concluded that. Now, if you, based on this evidence, these are the facts, this is what we see in nature. And so if you're saying that if you can get to God with this, go ahead and write your own peer-reviewed study, go off. But if not, then you've got to look at the evidence that we have and try to disprove this model. And if you're going to say, I don't believe it, therefore God, then what you're actually saying is that God is a liar. And that's not just, that's not the scientific consensus, but it is the consensus of most Christians. Most Christians are not science deniers. So, we need to get more comfortable with having the not putting Christians in a box and treating them that all like they all believe the same thing. Just like we don't want them to believe that all non-Christians are evil, or all atheists like to eat babies, and or are in their basement huffing adrenaline or whatever it is you do with that stuff. I'm sorry, I cut off purpose, and I do want her to.
That was much more important than what I was going to say.
No, but I would like to hear what you were going to say.
I just have a question for anyone who played Final Fantasy VII to the end. Did you collect Knights of the Round materia, and how many rounds did you defeat Morgue at the end?
All right, can I get a 1 in the chat for any Final Fantasy friends? And anyone who plays Final Fantasy. Is it Final Fantasy 1, 2, 3, 7, 9? What number are you on?
Well, you asked about 7.
7. Okay, I did not hear the 7. Can I get a 1 in the chat for anyone who plays Final Fantasy 7? Now, while you guys are listening or getting caught up on that, Ember, what were you going to say?
I have no fucking idea. I'm just here. Math proofs, right? You can use math proofs to demonstrate a thing. Cool. But math existing is not itself a proof. You have to use the math to make a proof.
So God is not a mathematical concept, so...
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. It's it's a category error.
Okay, so we have 1.5 people that played Final Fantasy VII. So what was your other one? What level did they get to?
No, how did they have to collect the Knights of the Round materia to beat Morgue at the end? And how many rounds did it take them?
Is that the one with Sephiroth?
Yes.
Okay, because Morgue looks kind of like Sephiroth.
So, like, Morgue is like a final boss or something?
Yes, who has fantastic hair.
He does. He kind of, he's giving me like Marilyn Manson vibes.
Maybe a little.
As far as I can tell, he is trying to start a cult.
That's true.
No, if you like Google Morgue official, like there's, it gets, he's very goth. Anyways, all right. So,
he's a Death Eater. Hence the name Morgue.
All right. So yeah, we do have a bingo card generated, and you know what? I just found out like a couple of hours ago today that Dr. Kip Davis, who has written no books, did I've been like kind of fucking around with him because I was like, well, I hear that he's written no books. he said he's written 4, I think, and this is his 5th. But nobody's actually seen Dr. Kip Davis write any books. And this weekend, I was actually, he has been playing around, trying to get like because I guess the ebook has to be formatted differently. And so, since I'm the only person that he knows, or at least close to, who only reads ebooks, and don't look at me like that. I lose books. I'm not buying a goddamn $50 book only to lose it in a move, or whatever. I'm tired of losing books. I like books. I'd like to keep my books, and I can keep them on my Kindle. I have a Kindle app. I can keep it on my phone. Electronics are very handy, and you know what? Unlike most of the people that we showcase, who I'm pretty sure don't even write their own scripts for their goddamn videos that they get millions of views on in a year. At least I'm reading, so you can put those looks away. Yeah, I read my books on a phone. Fuck you. Anyways, I read, and in reading the acknowledgments, I saw my name. So Dr. Kip Davis is now a bingo square, and I also made a little commercial for him.
Kip Davis has written no books. Kip Davis has written no books.
Not quite as funny as his, but I did want to say thank you. I've never been in a book.
Yay.
All right. We're gonna move.
Athena, what are you? Oh, that is not a cat toy, Athena.
Oh, God damn it! You said Athena. You know what? You know what you have to do now. You're here every week.
I already
It's
showed.
true.
No one saw her. It's kitty time.
Yep.
Okay, Athena.
It's
I'm
the rules
sorry.
of the internet. While that's happening, I just want to say, Maya, don't feel bad about
Sorry.
ebooks. When
You okay?
I started as an over-the-road driver,
She
it's
was
a lot easier to bring my phone with me on the road to read books than to bring
sorry.
many actual books.
I
You
fucking
okay,
love reading
Athena?
on my phone. I read so many newspapers. They're just apps on my phone. And I read a lot of like science news and like just the amount of money that I would have to spend every day to do the amount of reading that
Okay.
I do in a day. No, thank you. Thank you, Porpoise.
I got her
And
revenge
the
for
very
being-
beautiful Athena for,
Oh,
waving her paws at the audience. We love her.
she was
As,
not
as
happy
we know,
about
cats
me.
are actual divine beings. So now we've had,
Okay.
a minimum of 4 goddesses on screen at the same time. We're going to start a whole damn pantheon up in here.
I'm saying 4 goddesses, 2 different types of animals. I do love your bow. You're looking very pretty today, Mr. Weasel.
I was gonna say, I was like, are you talking to me? Thank you. I feel pretty. I'm wearing my Dapper shirt.
I do want to thank Skeptic Haven for coming through. Skeptic Haven had David Fitzgerald and another Bible guy. I am so sorry, I forgot his name.
Another Bible guy. When you've got David Fitzgerald, everyone else is just another Bible guy.
But no, I do think Skeptic Haven. I was trying to get a hold of Jay Bundy because normally we do Black Free Thinkers every other Monday. So we should be on Skeptic Haven tomorrow night or 8ish. So, I've been singing Skeptic Haven's praises lately. Thank you for everything you do. And I know that, I think on our last girl stream, we were talking about a lot of people who, we make mistakes and, we tell them about it, they correct, and then, we give them grace and we move forward together as a community. And I know Skeptic Haven, being such, let's say a big channel, but to have so many voices and opinions and people come through as you do, it's going to be inevitable that there's a bump in the road here and there. I do want to thank you for handling it with grace and being open, to listening when you mess up, and also being open to the voices of the community. I don't know any other channel before or even now. I mean, you're kind of trailblazers in the amount of people that you platform, where, I'm seeing, men's voices, trans voices, gay voices, Hispanic voices. It's just so amazing. So, which is really representation. The community is underrepresented on, like, for faces online. I think we're very diverse as a community, but like we need to get more diversity online. And Skeptic Haven is really a trailblazer in that field. So I'll definitely give credit where it's due.
Well,
Thank you.
the tangent function is indeed from trigonometry, but I believe tangent is actually defined by geometry as a line that touches something or touches the edge of a shape. Or
Is that for the tangents that keep going on? All right. So we're going to start the show, I swear to God. But I do want to thank Jester, Lord of Nothing right now. Or no, that's not Jester. That's Left-Handed Jedi. I'm sorry, Jedi is back. Won't. Left-Handed Jedi gave us 5 cult members, and those went to the Unfinished Studio, Crafty, Jason Hyatt, Stephen Walsh,
okay,
and Jojo. So thank you. I love that, Ember. Oh my God.
We're celebrating Jedi's up in here.
That's what I was saying,
I almost grabbed my Sith one because I have a different one for the dark side. If Mark shows up, I'm other Mark, formerly Agamemnon.
How many do you have?
I have 3 for photography reasons.
Yeah, do they make the noise for photography reasons?
They do, yes, because I'm very poor and I got the cheapest ones, but I can do bisexual lighting.
Love it. Oh, wait a minute. What Porpoise has a sword. She's about to cut a bitch.
Oh, well, if you want, the actual sword is by my door in case,
Yeah,
this is people who know where I live.
So wouldn't a sword, wouldn't a lightsaber like slice a sword? Or
yes.
I was gonna say it like I don't know.
Especially since this is a fencing a pay and isn't really designed to do anything except to.
Oh yeah, thrust in. What's the other thrust in? I don't know. The thing. I don't know. Just poke them in the chest. On guard. All right.
A rapier, a poignard.
I don't know. Do I look like I like toss swords around? Like more of a.
You seem to be reaching for a specific word. I thought you might know what the
word is. Like there's a Perry. Thank you, Perry. That thing. See, Al Trucker, who is not in bed for reasons, knows the inner workings of my mind, which scary, I know, but I love you, Al. Never change. All right. We're gonna do this. Morgue is going to show us proof of God, mathematical proof of God.
Or killer brain cells, one of the two.
What do we get, folks?
Let's
go. Let's do it.
Exist. What if it was possible to prove it? And I don't mean through faith, but through math. See, some people think that mathematics can prove the existence of God, but then
and those people are wrong.
Many atheists say that we don't need to believe in God because science can explain everything.
All right, I just need to.
You guys are atheists. Morgue is saying science can. Morgue says that you say that science can prove everything.
Well, as someone who has taught math in the past, I want Morgue to do one thing every math teacher ever has probably said to all their students.
Go to the principal's office?
No, all their students, not.
Gotcha.
Show your work.
I mean,
he doesn't do any work.
Be a big plus, but no, this isn't even a straw man. It's just a derp. Like, not only do not all atheists say this, I don't know a single atheist who says this, because we understand science well enough to know that science doesn't answer everything. It's not even equipped to answer everything. But as we often say, all of our models are wrong, but some of them are useful. The objective is to get less wrong. We're not trying to prove a thing is, we're trying to rule out the things that aren't. Like gods,
Oh my God. You know what? I have to go on one more tangent. I'm so sorry. So,
she's not sorry.
I have to. I have to. I'm so sorry. Because I know I'm like it's like 30 minutes and we still really haven't started the stream. DeFreak is here, and DeFreak, I love you. Don't go away. I just I want to thank you for the growth that you showed and the stream on Friday. Um, a lot of people were asking why I didn't just kick you because you were upsetting a lot of people. You seemed a little victim blamey. But I do want everybody to know that DeFreak did have some conversations behind the scenes. He listened to what we had to say, asked clarifying questions. I believe he's has a different stance today than he had at the beginning of the stream on Friday, and I am going to applaud him for good behavior. I don't. I can see how people would think he's a troll. I am not. He's not banned because I'm not convinced that he is that. I believe he's a red state something. I don't know if he's a red state Republican Dem, an affiliate, or if he even votes at all. If he doesn't, freak, if you don't want to vote, I'm totally cool with that. Normally, I would blame you mercilessly and just smack you around about that. But no, you in particular do not want to. The rest of you are not exempt. The rest of you need to get your asses out there for 2 years and vote for down ballot, especially. But the freak, if you do not want to vote, I'm totally cool with that for at this point in time. I think that I want other people who are in your position to do what you're doing, and that is to know when it's time to listen and when it's time to perhaps open your mind. And I am going to apologize to everyone that you hurt because I allowed it in, on my platform. And I'm gonna stand on that decision. And if you have any non-trolley friends, bring them by, because I think that the reason I do what I do isn't just so we can laugh at the idiots. It's so that people can perhaps see a different perspective, and change their mind and be more empathetic. So I'm not. I'm seeing that from you. So I'm going to applaud it. And guys, if you are feeling uncomfortable with anyone, I hope you continue to come to DM me and come to me behind the scenes, and I will continue to. Well, obviously, I will keep monitoring my chat. I love you guys. I honest and truly believe I have the best chat on the internet. I tell everybody, like, I always, always, always go back through my streams to look at the chat because I'm not as engaged with you as I'd like to be. I find it hilarious. My moms will tell you, like, I'm doing like screenshots and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I missed that. I want to keep things fun here, but we are on the precipice of a fascist takeover. We're in the midst of it, whatever. And I kind of feel like we need to gather as many people to our side as we possibly can, and throwing people out due to intolerance just isn't going to get us where we need to be. So I'm and again, if I'm convinced there are a lot of people who are not here. There are a lot of people on the block list. So I mean, I'm not being closed-minded about that. Your safety, your emotional well-being is paramount to me. But again, I'm just closing this up. My children have looked me in the eye and told me that they're not comfortable having my grandchildren in this country at this time, and I have no comeback for that. And I need to. We just need more allies. They're coming around, but it's not gonna happen if we shun them. So don't be like the Jehovah's Witnesses. We're above this. We can do it. All right, all right, all right. I'm gonna stop, and we're gonna listen to some hot nonsense.
Or that it will at least be able to someday. But is that actually true? Can science really explain everything? Or are there some things, some mysteries that it just can't touch? Well, we often hear that science is the ultimate.
Such a straw man. Of course, there are things that science can't touch.
Well, I mean, and science knows this though too, because science needs. It's not like science just walks around. I think that people think that science thinks that, oh well, God answers this question, so we need to knock it down with science.
So,
Biologist, you're up. Let's let's tear down the whole Noah's Ark thing. This is all on you. That's not how that works.
so there is one thing I want to point out here, that most people would not consider math to be a science, even though.
Yeah,
Oh, Vandy,
I don't like you. People can have strong opinions either way. I don't really care if you think math is a science or not that much.
don't
It
you have an
is.
opinion on it though?
Well,
It's called the Queen of the Sciences. Is a phrase that is often used. I don't know what that means exactly, but like it's not a science in the same way as the physical sciences are.
yeah,
But it's more sciencey than other things are.
okay. The point I was trying to get at, though, is that most people wouldn't consider it a science because it's not one of the hard sciences. It's not how most people use that word, even though all other sciences depend upon it.
Right. It's a tool for getting science done. It's like saying, are microscopes a science? They're a tool used in science. There is science that goes into how they work, optics and photonics and so forth. But the microscope itself is not a science.
Yeah.
So he's already onto another category error, because at least in most people's mind.
Yeah, but it's like adjacent enough that it's not a thing that I'm going to like. That's not a hill I'm going to die on, but it doesn't like you don't do experiments really in math, although even like it depends on what you mean. Like Monte Carlo simulations are sort of like mathematical experiments, I suppose, but
I don't know. For me, and I know I've been talking a whole fucking lot, but like for me, it's like math is a language, and math is like, I don't know. It's like saying the alphabet is science. I don't. It's just a tool you use in the scientific method.
Yeah, and we're going to be making comparisons to a language a lot here as it continues.
Yes, we are.
A tool for understanding the physical world. But think about it. By its very definition, science can't tell us if there's anything outside the physical world, anything immaterial.
that's
Because it's not designed to do that.
yeah. I mean, there's a sense of
But when people talk about God, they usually mean an immaterial being, something that's non-physical. So what does this have to do with math? Well,
it's sort of a straw man of religion too, because like,
I guess
yes, Christians like Craig are constantly like immaterial, impersonal, outside the universe, doesn't actually exist. We only play pretend, disembodied mind. But most religions throughout history, anyway, think of gods as basically just superhumans. Like Zeus is just a big human who chucks lightning bolts. And even the older versions of Christianity, the Old Testament is always talking about Yahweh wandering around gardens or meeting Abraham on the road to Egypt or whatever the fuck, Like, they're clearly usually thought of as physical beings.
it would depend on which religion too, because there are some religions like some philosophies like philosophical Taoism, where the Tao might not be a physical entity, but it could be. Some people might place it in the role of a god, even though I wouldn't. So,
yeah, this immaterial business. This is just a recent development for the most part. There have been a few. You could make a case with a old Mithraism that Uhura may have been immaterial, even though it was literally the sun, but whatever. For the most part, it's used today as just a workaround. It's an apologetic. It's, here's this thing that disproves my religion, but if I claim it's actually a magical ghost outside of reality, then that thing doesn't apply, and ta-da, my God gets to continue to fill this very distant, specialized gap.
Yep.
but that's not even what he's going to do.
Well, let's start with the
And if
basics.
you
What
wanna
is math?
fill
Math
the gap,
All right, so let's start with the basics. What is math?
is about numbers, the information about those numbers, and the way they all connect together. But where do we find math? We can't see it, hear it, touch it, or taste it. Math.
What do you mean? We can't
Math is-
find it. How many fingers do I have? 1, 2, 3.
Math is an abstraction, and it's not always about numbers.
It's not always about numbers. You're right. It's an abstraction. It's about the relationships between like abstract things. Like, what is math is a really fascinating question. But yeah, it's certainly not always about numbers.
I mean, there is really a field of math called knot theory, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know that much about it, other than that it exists.
Well,
Yeah, it's basically about how the different ways that you can have a closed loop of like rope or string in an abstract sense that can't pass through itself, and there are classifications of them, and it's a whole thing. I read a book about it once, but yeah, it's you numbers are involved in describing certain things. Like, you can classify it and break it down in certain ways, but the entities themselves that you are considering them are knotty loops of abstract rope, basically.
But we can use it to explain things like how we can put a cord into a small bag and not have it knot up.
Yeah, and papers have been written on like the degree to which, if you sort of take a jumbled up rope without coiling it like properly and throw it into a box and then shake it, like how tangled and knotted it will be on average when it comes out. Mathematicians are very strange people.
And literally, in computer science, we use propositional logic, or rather Boolean algebra, all the time. Only has two possible answers unless you're doing multivariable logic. But it is extremely useful, and it's the basis of all modern electronics.
Yes.
It's fun stuff. But
only exists in our mind.
Sorry, you're saying
a lot of the things he says apply equally to language. The way he uses math, you can, if you mentally substitute in, well, any language of your choice, English, French, Russian, whatever, the argument is identical and identically silly. This is one way to do an easy argument from absurdity, because by switching out an analogous thing, you don't even have to inflate the argument. It becomes obvious some of the ridiculous, absurd, contradictory nonsense he's peddling right there on the surface.
But math actually is a language we use to describe things we don't have words for.
Mm-hmm.
We find it by thinking and discovering more about it. But even though math is only...
I mean, we find everything by thinking and discovering more about it, okay? Stuff that's right in front of us is found by, like, brain processing the stuff that's in front of us. Like
in our minds, it also explains things. It explains everything from simple counting to the movements of planets. For anything formal that you can think of, there's a mathematical explanation. So if math is only in our minds...
I don't think that's true.
Well, he said for anything formal. And the thing is, he's using a definition of formal where that's almost a tautology, I think.
I could see that.
No true math person. I'm trying to know true Scotsman, but with math. It's not working.
Yeah.
Anything formal that you can think of, there's a mathematical explanation. So if math is only in our minds, but also explains things in the physical world, well, where does it come from? Well, there are two ways to answer this question. The first is that math...
only in our minds, but explains things in the physical world.
Why does it have to come from anywhere?
All right, this is
languages do come from people.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, and that's my whole thing with like, I'm like, if math isn't a language, then help me out to see it some other way. Because like in my mind, okay, I understand the inclination to want to say, well, you know, if we weren't here, like let's just say in front of me, like I'm in a field and I see two rocks. Yeah, sure, there would still be two rocks here. But would there be two rocks? Or would there just be rock? Because two is the language that we use to explain a quantity to one another. I kind of feel like the number two is human specific.
Right.
Like we're just
existing
outside of that. And when you're thinking about like why we invented words and math, it was all like for accounting so that we could, you know, document how many like sheep or cattle or whatever we were, you know, exchanging with other people.
Well, it
Before
also
that,
goes
it's just
to
things
the
just
basis.
existed. There's no reason to count or to understand, what pi is. Like we developed that to be able to have conversations with each other.
But the
Yes,
Bible does say it's exactly equal to 3.
it's
I hear
true,
you.
or so I hear.
I
But
would
yeah,
Yeah.
we developed the concepts in order to describe, the same way we developed blue and red and green in order to describe and categorize and communicate. That's
Yeah.
all it is.
The language that we use and the representations that we give are definitely human created, but the fact that there is rock and rock um, is distinct from the fact of there just being rock. So the label too, absolutely human created, but that it is true that you can subdivide 4 rocks into 2 groups of 2 rocks, and you can't do that with a group of 3 rocks. That is independent of any representation that we use to describe it.
But why is it if we don't need to communicate rock to
Yeah.
non-rock? Why is it why is it necessary? Is it needed? Is it like what is
No.
truth?
Oh, no, I don't think anything's necessary. The rock doesn't care if people are talking about it. Yeah.
No, I'm just saying independent of that. Like, okay, there's this like any of the words we've used to describe any of the things that we're talking about. Let's just say rock. Rock is still there, but is it rock? Like it just the same
Well,
thing as like, is it one?
this
So
is
this is my point.
the
Go
where
ahead.
he's going to. This part I have no problem with, but this is where most of these arguments go off the rails. It's like these are concepts we use in our mind to help us communicate, like we've been saying.
Yeah.
How we map onto the world. The
Yeah,
word
and that's
rock.
my point. I just for me, and I'm trying to look at this a different way, but I keep coming back to math as a language, and that's just the way it is in my mind. And I know, 40-year-old brain, um, it it just the neurons are firing in the direction they're firing. I'm trying to be open to like seeing it from a different perspective, but in my head, it's just like we don't need these concepts if there are no humans. If the concept is human,
Yeah.
if it requires a human to interpret it, does it really exist?
Yeah,
Well,
where
there's
these are-
another thing that he's trying to slip in here, is he's
Yeah,
trying to
that's, I think, I'm triggered
substitute
with the same
one specific version of math for all of math, because
Sure.
just like every other language, every culture has their own. Now,
Yeah.
we've mostly universalized the decimal-based system of math,
Mhm.
the power of 10 type of math, but that's not the only way to do it. And
Right.
you can have base 6, you can have base 12, you can have whatever the fuck base you feel like, however it's easier for you to count. The Babylonians went with base 12 because they counted on their knuckles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And it was easy. It's a thing that worked for them and it was more efficient. But you don't have to do it any particular way, but every way you do it changes the grammar of the language. Like
Mhm.
pi will still be pi, but the value will be different in the way you
The
get
the,
there.
the representation will be different. The value is I don't think it is fair to say that that's different. The thing that we're labeling as 3 is still not divisible by 2, no matter what base you're talking in. It you don't have the same freedom that you do. The freedom that you have is in the labeling. You have all the freedom you want in the language part, but in terms of the actual relationships between the abstract entities, you don't have that same freedom. You have the freedom to choose which axioms you're sort of going to consider and operate under, but the math as sort of math encompasses all of those different sort of choices.
So
I suppose it could in a philosophical sort of way, but in a practical sense, you have to pick a system and work within that, or your equations aren't going to make any sense.
Well,
But
But
we could split hairs about that all night. What I'm getting at is that he's equivocating on the concept of math versus a specific mathematical language.
Actually, what he's
trying to say they're the same.
What he's going to do is make a logical leap. This point I have no problem with, but he's going to make a huge logical leap in the next couple of steps. Where he's trying to say that math has a physical existence.
All right,
yeah.
Well, before we move on, have we beaten this to death yet, or
Yeah, we have.
Okay, yes. Okay. I mean, I should put my bat away.
Okay.
Things in the physical world, well, where does it come from? Well, there are two ways to answer this question. The first is that math is something that human beings invented to explain what we observe in the physical world. If that's the
Oh, yeah, that's the case. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. It's good to see you. Time to go, I guess.
Case, the mathematics only...
Say, he has 9 minutes after this.
Yeah. That was prong one of two options he's
only
proposing.
Exists in the mind as something that humans made up. The second is that math exists independently of humans and it governs the universe, and we've simply discovered it.
That's two separate things.
That's two separate things. I mean, I agree with the first part. I agree that math is discovered. I agree that it exists independently of humans. That may be a hot take that is unpopular here, but I do agree with that. But he's also slipping in it governs the universe.
No, it's just rules we just use math to describe the rules of the universe.
It doesn't govern the universe any more than English governs the universe by being able to say how the water cycle works. Oh, we described it, therefore English is governing it.
But this is actually something that math people debate about, and the answer I give is yes. Both things are...
Yeah, fair. That's also... I also accept that.
So both number one and number two are true.
So except for the governing the universe part. But is it invented or discovered? Yes.
I mean, okay, so...
Yeah,
you know how sentences work, right? He didn't say or it governs the universe. He didn't say and or it governs the universe. He doesn't say but it governs the universe. These two go hand in hand.
Yeah, that's dumb.
I mean that is the sentence. As the English that governs the universe goes. These two are, the way he's constructed the sentence, it's a twofer.
That's why
said there are two options.
It is false.
He did not specify the exclusive or. So if it's not the exclusive or specifically, it's the inclusive or. And if any one of those options is true, the entire statement is true.
Fair.
Exists independently of humans, and it governs the universe, and we've simply discovered it. If that's true, then mathematics actually has a real, immaterial, metaphysical existence. Well, which is it? Is math in...
I don't know enough about philosophy to care about that.
I need some philosophy. Yeah, some philosophy nerd here. It's
can you have a real metaphysical nerds in the chat? What's your question?
Can you have a real metaphysical existence? The fact that abstract ideas exist isn't really in question here. I mean, math exists. It's a thing.
Hey, Andy, you have Chat GPT. GPT, goddamn.
One of those.
As accurate as anything Morgue tells us.
I think it's... I don't believe that anybody should take Chat GPT seriously. But it'd be interesting to see, or I don't know. Ooh, you have Monday.
I do have Monday.
I would love to see what Monday says about this. So Monday, it's like the better Chat GPT. It gives you a sarcastic answer, which I think just Chat GPT that should just be the default for Chat GPT, because way too many people think that it should be taken more seriously.
What do you want me to ask?
Something about metaphysical purpose. What was your question?
Do you need to collect the Knights of the Round Materia?
That is not what you asked. A metaphysical existence?
Immaterial. He did say immaterial.
Oh, okay. Material,
but is that a thing?
Porpoise, you asked the question.
If I misheard something, I thought he said it had a material metaphysical existence.
No, he said immaterial. I'm pretty sure.
Can you wait? Oh, you
and it
don't
governs
have.
the universe, and we've simply discovered it. If
Can you
that's
put on
true, then
captions?
mathematics actually has
Yes, I can.
Yeah, sorry.
a real, immaterial, metaphysical existence.
So
Yeah,
I heard real immaterial, or he could have said real and material, and sort of like
It sounded like immaterial.
I heard immaterial, but
I-
now you've like poisoned the well, so I don't know what I heard.
well, the caption says immaterial with an I.
Yeah, but
And then I don't know enough about metaphysics to like have a super strong opinion, but what I do, my sense of it is like, yeah, and math would be like the canonical example that I would give of like a thing that exists in some way, but in an abstract sense, not in a concrete material sense.
And most social constructs are that way too.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is another common conflation with woo-woo peddlers and such, is metaphysics. It isn't just like physics for the supernatural. It has an actual meaning. It's a branch of philosophy, and it deals with the first principles of things. Yes, I Googled it because I want a precise definition. It includes abstract concepts like math, but also knowing, being, substance, cause, identity, that sort of thing. So to say it is a real, immaterial, metaphysical existence doesn't make any fucking sense. It's an incoherent statement.
Well, I'm glad Morgue is going to continue making just as much sense throughout the rest of this video.
That's true.
Oh, also, we know he meant immaterial because he actually has his own captions here underneath, and it says immaterial. So, yeah, in whatever font that is.
All right.
Well, which is it? Is math invented or discovered? To understand this, think about the Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. Now, Pythagoras is the
thing. We're doing
not...
the thing that people love to do, Americans especially, but humans generally seem to be big fans. I've heard it called monocausataxophilia. It's every complex thing that you could possibly wonder about or ask has one answer. It's a simple answer, and whoever's talking already knows what that answer is.
However, he's going to say this holds true for all right triangles. And while it does hold true for right triangles in Euclidean geometry, it does not hold true in spherical geometry.
Yeah, that's true. Or in hyperbolic geometry.
Yes.
But
think about the Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. Now, Pythagoras is the one who got credit for this theorem, even though it was most likely already known a long time before he was born. But for the sake of argument, let's just pretend that he was the one who discovered it. Well, this truth, the Pythagorean theorem, it didn't start becoming true when it was discovered. He didn't invent it out of nothing.
But we could define a right triangle as something totally different, and it wouldn't be true.
yeah, okay, you're right. Okay, but in Euclidean space,
have you considered aliens?
I do hear they gave us bad math,
but out of nowhere.
Apparently.
Out of nowhere.
But if you start with the same if you start with sufficient axioms to get you to the Pythagorean theorem, you don't have an option. Like there you can't.
Yeah,
once you have the framework that is restrictive enough to point you there, you don't have an option. So if you have a Euclidean geometry, if it's flat, if the angles of every triangle add up to 180 degrees, then you're going to get the Pythagorean theorem.
Not to mention,
that's not. Yeah.
We've proven the Pythagorean theorem will hold true for all right triangles in Euclidean space. Why, given the way we define right triangles.
Yeah, but that's all that. But that's fundamental to all propositions in math.
Yes.
It always has been true. He didn't somehow create this relationship. He discovered it and put it into a form that humans could understand. That is by using symbols to represent it.
That's not how Pythagoras even did it. They didn't actually use this algebraic notation They literally talked about the squares. They didn't mean like square numbers. They meant like squares. It's way easier to do this geometry with algebraic notation.
Yeah, this was
Think
originally described in words. Like they would
Yeah.
actually say the whole thing. The square of the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the square of the other two sides.
But I'm also
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that all too well.
I'm also pretty sure Morgue is correct. Architects did know something like this before Pythagoras.
What? No, that's impossible. Porpoise. Architects didn't even know that if you stack rocks in the shape of a triangle, buildings fall down less.
Well, they weren't right triangles, so of course
Oh,
they didn't know.
aliens.
Is that because the Anunnaki sky people gave us bad math?
See, Porpoise pays attention.
That told us 1 × 1 = 1.
The Egyptians had like a ton of special cases of the Pythagorean theorem, like figured out Pythagorean triples, but they didn't seem to have the generalized statement worked out in the same way. It was all like a series of special cases that they didn't. It's quite interesting.
The thing we see repeating throughout scientific history, honestly.
Yeah.
Is we'll have like a whole bunch of special formulas, and you have to have like a cheat sheet of all these fucking formulas, and then someone will come along and be like, if I do this and this and this and this, boom, one formula covers all these cases.
Yeah, it's amazing and beautiful when that happens.
Why unfinished journey? Why are you not using round numbers that convert nicely to like a bunch of zeros with a leading one in binary?
Journey always does factors of 666.
Okay.
For $2.22, Journey says, "Hail Goddess and crew, hail Naughty Loops."
Is that a Kingster reference? I don't know.
I mean, if it's naughty, it probably is.
Is that a reference to Temu Orlando Bloom here? That's why that's the free spare, by the way, because
he was Sephiroth. He's got to kill Eris.
Even if no one had ever discovered the Pythagorean theorem, it would still be true. The sides of every right-angled triangle would still obey this relationship, whether or not anyone knew about it. If math was something that humans just made up, we could decide that the Pythagorean theorem worked differently. We could say a squared plus b squared.
If we come up with a series of rules that function a certain way, we will eventually discover certain things about the relationships in those rules that we didn't know before.
Right. I mean, it's just building on top of each other.
Yeah, and you can come up with rules that lead this to not being true.
Yeah.
It's why the Pythagorean theorem is not a great example of this. But I think like the primality of numbers would be a better example.
Squared equals c cubed or something else entirely, but we can't. The Pythagorean theorem works in a very specific way, and there's no change.
Yeah, but we could. I mean, draw it on a sphere, my guy. Like.
We could, but yeah, then we'd test it. Some Pythagoras would come out going Eureka because I'm the other guy now, Archimedes, I guess. A squared cubed, and we'd go cool. Let's check it because that's what you do with math. That's why you want proof so you can check it. And we'd check it, and we'd be like, "You're wrong, naughty. Back to your office. Don't come back until you have a useful theorem."
I mean, I think. Like when we're talking about like calculus, well, I know calculus is one of them. Like we're trying to figure out how things work. A lot of things didn't work, and we knew that because like when we checked it against like reality, it didn't conform. So, I mean, I don't know what I'm trying to say. He's wrong.
I think what you're trying to say is we're going to prove using induction that none of Morgue's videos ever make sense. So
Yes.
We have the base case here. We're going to assume that holds true for some integer up to k, and then we'll watch k plus 1 videos and see if it continues to hold true.
I like Sinister so much. Or Porpoise. Yeah.
The Sinister Porpoise.
I hate
When you
food by
think
induction.
of a sinister porpoise, think of the sinister porpoise.
Did a porpoise, like, where did the name come from?
That's a long story, but
Okay.
I liked it and continued with it.
Fair. Yeah, I mean that's the entirety of the tapioca weasel story. So
That actually is true
Changing
for a
it.
lot
It's
of
a-
streamers.
yeah.
Universal truth that exists whether we know about it or not. If you believe math was invented, you're saying that humans have the power to
Leo's coming
create
for your neck.
universal.
Humans have the power to create.
I don't really know what that. I don't know enough about what that means. Like, yeah, no, I don't know what Leo's position is, and I don't know what he thinks my position is, or if my position is well formed enough for it to be, whatever. But
I think he understands your position and it's wrong.
okay, well,
Sounds like something Leo would do.
I feel like it kind of is though.
I think his position is to always use shampoo and conditioner wisely.
Fair.
Well, for two spooky bucks, Spooky Bed here says it's pronounced maths people.
Listen, we didn't throw that tea into the river just so you could tell us how to pronounce your language.
Harbor. It was Boston Harbor.
Harbor, yeah.
Truths, but that's not possible. Mathematics is the underlying order of the universe, and it's discovered. This means these truths exist.
What'd you say?
I'm letting the physicist answer this one.
I don't really know what he means by that, I guess. I wouldn't say it that way. Mathematics is about relationships between abstract propositions. I think you can have mathematics without any of the stuff that you like apply mathematics to. I don't think that a thing has to have any physical instantiation for there to be like math.
I think we need to apply Dave Morgue's law to this from now on. Like, we need to have alcohol before listening to this guy.
So he said we can't say the Pythagorean theorem. God damn! All right, Pythagorean theorem works in a very specific way, and there's no change in it. But it's a universal truth that exists whether we know about it or not.
I'm sorry.
Right, it's true of regular languages too. Like, whether we call the sky blue or whatever, we're not changing the nature of the sky. We're just describing it. Pythagoras just describes an existing relationship. He's not creating it. Sure, fine. And it's true whether we know about it or not. If we became cave-dwelling Morlocks, the sky would still be blue, even if we don't know it.
It's my only point.
It's a big fucking circle.
Yeah, I just continue. He's going to babble more nonsense.
Oh, yeah.
Mathematics is the underlying order of the universe, and it's discovered. This means these truths exist independently of human beings, waiting to be found. Physicist Michio Kaku said,
relationship exists.
That guy needs to... Michio Kaku is annoying.
That's how you know you're in a conspiracy video. Is either Tesla or Michio Kaku or one of these.
Or Musk. Or Musk.
Yeah, or Musk.
That's right. It's the fuckery trifecta. And I like Michio Kaku, however you pronounce his name. But he went on Fox News like, the Asian Bill Nye and tried to like teach idiots science. And he did get them to like him, but they completely straw man everything he said to them.
Yeah. I was going to say, my favorite thing is like when these people straw man their own people.
Right. Well, Kaku, he also kind of made his own bed when it comes to the conspiracy nonsense. Like, for example, on one interview, he'd talk about aliens, and he'd say, okay, well, we have the Drake equation, and depending on which variables you plug in there, he'd basically simplify arguments, but he'd oversimplify beyond what was actually called for. He'd say, well, the Drake equation shows they're are aliens. There for sure are aliens. It's like, no, it's there are likely aliens depending on what presumptions you put in, what preconditions you're running the equation with. Because some things we just have to make up a best guess value for to run the Drake equation. But he'd just say, no, it shows there are aliens. Like, no, 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 no. Like, you can't just jump like that because you're a pop sci communicator. You have to make it clear we don't know for sure these things. He'd do the same thing with the double slit experiment. He'd be like, well, this shows this is definitely happening. And I'm like, no, 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 no. There's whole fields of people who are still arguing over this shit. You can't just say it is one way, you know?
Well, and yeah, that's another. It's kind of like I was saying at the very beginning of the video, where it's just like, oh yeah, there has to be aliens out there somewhere. So we're just going to talk as if they're real, and it's like we need to talk about what it is we're seeing, why, or what it is we believe, how we got there using the facts, because like what you're saying, it's like he's going out there and talking as if um the consensus is just a hard fact, because it's just different. Their understanding of facts and how they've been raised to process the world isn't the same. And so then when we change, or when we grow, when we learn more, it looks like we were just wrong, and not like, you know, more like personal growth, as it should.
Yeah.
It's
I also take issue with the way Morgue uses the word truth there, because a thing is only true if humans understand it and it is accurate. Like, if you remove humans from the equation, it just is. It's not a truth.
yeah, quid veritas est.
Yeah. And for $5, Milwaukee Atheist says, watch one vid from this guy, and I could tell he read one pop-up scholarship book by Ehrman and called it enough research.
In fairness, reading one pop scholarship book by Ehrman is 1,000 times more research than the average blowhard does.
And Morgue does not do Bible videos, so to the best of my knowledge.
So, I mean, kind of. Morgue thinks that, I think he believes that the devil was the good one. Yahweh was the evil
Oh,
one
he's Gnostic.
Gnostic ish.
ish.
He has his own. I forget what he calls it, but it's a variation of religion that is sort of like we're all God insofar as God is part of us. There's a name for it, but it's basically all of religion is reversed.
Yeah,
Because the point is they're trying to take the power away from you, which is kind of true.
So he's pulled a bunch of new ideas and read Stranger in a Strange Land.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. He's very not that he won't say Yahweh is a demon, but he'll describe the God that way. Definitely believes that it's real and a thing, and like its own entity, and not a character in a book. But that it's malevolent, and that, you know, Satan is the light bringer, and who's been
slandered.
Not that we need to work. He's not a Satan worshiper or anything like that. But yeah, it's like what Ember was saying, where the stories have been co-opted to be so that we can't know the truth. And it's, I'd have to look. Oh my God. I did actually go through a lot of his videos when I first started looking at his channel, but well, I mean, because I don't want to straw man people. Like, oh my God. Bedell was probably the worst.
Right.
Ward has been on my channel once or twice, but one, he's better at math than the other person that.
Yeah, way better at math than both Howard and.
You can't. I don't know if you can get worse at math than Terrence Howard. Like,
it would be an accomplishment. You have memberships you need to talk about.
There, I'll get there. I just got to Lawrence, and then I have 3 people to get to before I get to Joshua. So, and I've done this before. And so what they'll do is just start throwing money at me, and we never get through the stream. So if I just go through natural breaking points,
Well,
They don't, the chat, which I love and adore, and I worship you greatly. But I do want to. It's an 11-minute video. We can do this today.
okay.
Ambitious.
Math is discovered. To be invented requires an inventor, but math exists outside of humanity. And Erwin Schrödinger, the famous quantum physicist, said, a mathematical truth is timeless.
I didn't see this. I don't know why this didn't make my lineup, but for 50, these are what is it? It's no, yeah, but it's
Swedish kroner.
Swedish, yeah. For Swedish, we're just gonna call them Danishes. It's $50 to Deviant, and I do love her, and I do appreciate your money. Yeah, this is a lot of money. I'm sorry. Oh yeah, it's $50, so you get the music.
Here comes the money. Here we go. Money talk. Here comes the money. Money, money, money. Dollar, 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 dollar.
Woo! All right, we do like the monies. I heard an ancient Egyptian reference, and I'm here to inspect. Please continue. Also, hurry for the beautiful birthday brain that is Ember. What was the ancient Egyptian
we were talking about Pythagoras earlier.
Oh,
Island of Rocks.
I was gonna say because nothing registered, and so I'm pretty sure it was bullshit.
Well, we brought it up. He didn't bring it up.
Oh, she's gonna smack you. All right, you know what?
So I want to
That's
ask
been a
you
bad
this,
boy.
But I am pretty sure the ancient Egyptians did not have Turing complete machines. Is that correct?
Oh, yeah, that has to be Turing complete.
And they had rocks, so you can make a Turing complete machine with rocks and a dude.
As long as you can build logic gates, you can make a Turing complete machine.
Yeah,
people have done in Minecraft.
You can do that with an army.
It would have been easier to use the river, I think.
Let's make the river do our calculations.
But there is someone out there who claimed that the ancient Egyptians had CNC milling machines that were Turing complete.
Yeah, I just don't agree with Leo here. Like I think that implies certain freedoms would be available in it that I don't think are true. The idea that arrangements of objects can be subdivided in a certain way is completely independent of humans, and it is a mathematical truth in my opinion. I think that is ontologically independent, and so in that sense, I don't. All of the language and ways that we actually talk about it are absolutely, things that are invented by humans. But the things that we're describing aren't.
So this is
I kind of want to get Leo on and fight.
Oh God.
Okay,
we have too many people.
Not today.
We have too many people today.
But Leo's a friend of the show. I'm pretty sure I could get him to come back, and I can definitely find another Math Equals God video because it's a really popular topic.
Math does not equal God.
This is a debate I consider as useful as whether 0.999 repeating equals 1.
Well, it just is 1. Okay, sorry.
It does not come into being when we discuss.
It's not even a debate.
Two Guys Talking History, friend of the show, Daedalus Media says, excited to hear that math is somehow metaphysical. Oh, well, you are in for a treat, my friend. Math actually proves God, and Morgue is here to set us all straight.
And I will say the limit of 0.99 repeating approaches 1.
There is no limit. It is what it is. It isn't a process.
Right, the function of x where x equals 0.999 repeating is equal to 1.
Okay, well, that's different. But yes, I agree.
Discover it. So we know that mathematics is something that actually exists. It's not invented, but it's also something that we can't find in the physical world, so it's not physical. So what is it? Well, think about the number 5. The number 5, it's not a physical object. Sure, you can find things like 5 rocks and 5 apples and 5 trees, but you can never find 5 itself. Mathematical truths, such as numbers, don't occupy space or have any kind of physical form. A number like 5 doesn't exist physically in the same way a tree or a rock does.
But it's a description. It's like blue. You can't find blue. You can find things that could be described as blue, but blue itself does not exist. It's just a fucking description, my guy.
Let him continue. It's about to get dumber.
I didn't think that was that dumb. I thought that, like, I agree with him. You can't find 5. Where is 5?
Upside your head. Just hit the play button.
You can't touch the number 5, you can't smell it, you can't see it, but 5 exists. The idea of 5 works the same, no matter where you are or what you're counting. It's always 5, whether you're on Earth or on another planet. These mathematical principles don't change based on where we are. They're universal, which shows that they...
Base 4 system, then
You
it's
still
11.
have 5. You still have no. It's still 5. It's just that it's represented differently. The representation is not the number. The number is the same number. It's the same number.
The concept is different because now you've tripped over into the tens column, and now it changes everything.
101 in base 2 is equal to 5 in decimal. It's the same number. It's just
It's just like 5 is versus Cinco. Like they're the same number.
Well, they're both base 10. It's the same language.
Well, no. Okay, 11. 11 is still 11 if in whatever base it is. Like if you 11, even if in hexadecimal it's written as A, it's still 11. It doesn't become not a number anymore.
It's written as B in hexadecimal.
Sorry, B. Yeah.
Details. No, this is the equivocation thing that we were talking about earlier. He's conflating.
I don't think he is.
A concept.
Oh, he's definitely conflating.
The way it's described.
Yeah. I agree with Ember.
Okay, just let him continue until he comes to something resembling.
Oh, whoa.
They exist beyond.
Here it is.
Actually, there's 5 more cult members, and those went Theophilus, Big Zebra, I guess Nuea. Everybody's been trying to. No, he didn't get that. Milwaukee Atheist, friend of the show. Leo's friend of the show. Big Zebra. I don't know. I need to find you. I would love you to be a friend of the show. Long-time friend, just not a friend of the show. And Robert Madewell. Milwaukee Atheist.
I wonder how many Cocobos he's been.
They're not quite so brave as Sir Lancelot. Okay.
No, wait. You have to breed the Cocobos to get to him. To get the materia.
Me? All right. Well, welcome, new and returning members. Please enjoy your tapioca weasels, your nitties, and vaginas. All right.
On the physical world. Even though we can't touch or see mathematics like we can with physical objects, it doesn't mean that math isn't real. If that seems strange to you, think about a video game and the programming code that the game runs on. You can't find the code.
What are you doing, dude?
I just wanted to point out that he was talking about video game code, and that was HTML.
To you,
think
about a
HTML.
video game and the programming code.
Yep. Oh wait, that might be JavaScript. Never mind.
It looks to me.
Yeah.
Or
the game runs on. You can't find the code anywhere in the game, but the code is what runs in the background, giving structure to the game. The game couldn't exist without it. Likewise, mathematical concepts aren't anything you're going to find in the physical world, but they're in the background responsible for everything. Consider the Fibonacci.
So the universe is a simulation, and it runs on math as its programming code.
It is known.
So is that why our DNA is so buggy? Is our junk DNA where God just commented out the code that doesn't work?
Yeah.
Or whatever.
What is this image?
Oh, it's the Fibonacci
I think it's
sequence.
on the Fibonacci sequence.
Oh, it is the Fibonacci sequence.
But like the AI tried so hard to make numbers, and
this looks kind of AI flavored to me.
Because there's like a 14 here next to a 4, and another 14, and then another 14.
No, we're all so stupid. We don't know what the Fibonacci sequence looks like IRL.
So
Clearly.
I've heard about a new Fibonacci restaurant where the soup you get is as bad as the soup from the previous 2 days combined.
and it's priced the same as well.
Okay, that's
sequence. This series of numbers is expressed everywhere in nature.
Yeah.
From the arrangements of leaves on a stem to the spiral of a shell and even the proportions of the human body.
A lot of those things that people think are the Fibonacci sequence aren't actually.
It's just you're using math to describe it. It's not the Fibonacci sequence itself.
Yeah, it's not. The Fibonacci sequence is also a discrete sequence of the Fibonacci sequence is a particular one. You can define a Fibonacci sequences with any 2 starting numbers, or maybe 1. I don't know. But most of those spirals are actually like just more like golden ratio stuff, which is related to the Fibonacci sequence. The ratio of any 2 adjacent numbers in the Fibonacci sequence will approach the golden ratio as you go higher and higher in the sequence to arbitrary accuracy.
Sequence wasn't invented by humans. It existed long before we named it. Like the code of a video game, it gives structure to existence. Our entire world operates on these principles. So could this mean that mathematics is the language of God?
No.
Oh, there we go.
Why would it mean that?
So there must be a programmer. Clearly. Just one, though. You can't have a team writing a program. Video games are never made by multiple designers.
Well,
there can only be one.
I'm sure there are multiple systems we could probably prove are Turing complete, or we could either use them to design a Turing complete system like we do with DNA. But I don't think the universe, I don't think the universe was intended to be Turing complete.
Well, I don't think the universe was intended for anything, because I don't think there was any intent behind it.
Same thing.
All the people who try to prove to me, it's like, oh yeah, when I ask them to show me, it's like, show me a mathematical proof that DNA is Turing complete. Now, I'm sure if you actually tried, you probably would be able to do something like that.
Probably.
What they show me is a scientific paper or an engineering white paper about DNA computing systems that we have deliberately designed to be Turing complete.
Well, okay, yeah, but DNA itself is, a substance can't be Turing complete.
Well, I've heard chemists define it as a system, and chemists would know more than I do about that.
Well, DNA itself, like the molecule, is a molecule or class of molecules.
I wouldn't say so, but
okay.
I'm just saying chemists would know more.
Yeah.
Philosophers like Plato and Pythagoras believed that this was a mathematical reality. Plato believed that physical matter was governed by geometric forms, and Pythagoras said that everything in existence is based on number and that they rule the universe.
Okay, you might think there's a couple problems there. Plato proposed as a means of understanding reality that we might consider that there are geometric forms in a conceptual sense. It was all very philosophical. He wasn't straight up saying there are magic invisible forms out there. It's like the cave. It's a freaking metaphor. But Pythagoras is even worse. He didn't think of numbers in terms of numbers. He was rather famously the leader of a fucking music cult that was going to bring about the end of the world if they discovered the secret note that would undo it. It was the resonance frequency of all creation. There's a whole freaking thing with that. But
the brown noise?
Kind of. But his main thing is that everything in the universe is frequencies. It's vibrations. And we use numbers.
That's what Terrence Howard got.
You can't say that. You're just going to summon all of the other pseudoscience, Nikola Tesla loving people don't know what frequency is.
I personally love...
Is your brain broken already?
Okay, I love Nikola Tesla. He did do important things, but the reason I love him is because he's real life's diesel punk mad scientist.
Yeah, that's kind of true.
Seriously, read his biography. That's what he was.
He was very interesting guy.
these ideas are outdated, but think again. Consider quantum mechanics,
Oh
which has
God.
Yay.
Oh, here we go.
baffled scientists for over 100 years. The behavior of particles at the smallest scales are described and dictated by mathematical equations. Werner Heisenberg, a founding figure in quantum mechanics, said,
Described.
No,
Not
Yeah,
forced to do
Described
things.
and governed.
Mathematical equations.
the,
Now, he says they're described and governed by mathematical equations. We can say that's a proposition, which is either true or false. Now, we can ask our physicist if either one of those conditions is false.
Listen, if I was having this conversation with other physicists and I said that the trajectory and the motion of a particle was described and governed by Schrodinger's equation, nobody would bat an eye. Okay? Nobody would bat an eye. That wouldn't be that weird to say. He's talking about it in a more metaphysical, sense where physicists would be like, okay, well, yeah, whatever, but it follows this system. Whether it's the equation that does it, the equations can't stand in causal relations to things. Okay, but then it's like, okay, yeah, but what does cause it? Is it the laws of physics that do it? Do laws of physics, the law itself, do they stand in causal relationship? Most physicists would be like, okay, this is a philosophical conversation that I don't see the I don't get what conversation we're having.
Yeah, what's the practical value of it, except to try to build up a picture in order to sell something that is not itself demonstrably true?
Well, I think it's the same question or same thing that you were talking about earlier, Ember, where it's like, yeah, the things would be here if it weren't for humans, but then there's this language that we use, and Morgue is conflating the language we use to discuss the phenomenon with the phenomenon.
I also think there's something else going on here, and it happens, I've discovered when talking with people about AI.
Mm-hmm.
Now, computer scientists often mean something different when they say these AIs think.
Yeah.
Because the computer scientists know they're not thinking.
Yeah, it's just a term we use to describe its way of processing.
It's just a convenient language we use because it's kind of thinking. We're trying to simulate thinking in some cases.
But, I mean, it's processing information.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we do the same thing colloquially. Like when our computer freezes up and it's processing stuff, we go, oh, it's thinking. It's thinking about turning on OBS or whatever, It's not literally thinking. It's a colloquialism.
I think he's thinking govern means whereas a physicist wouldn't mean it literally forces things to be this way. It's just...
Right, but I mean, a computer scientist would know what's actually happening. I think that laymen get terms, and I think in all of our respective fields, we do this. We try to relay a concept to a layperson using the terms that they know. And we're so fucking stupid that we assume that that's what's actually happening. Like we don't realize, it's like, well, for instance, DNA is a code. It's one we've all had to wrestle with. It's just like, well, because we code things in, it doesn't mean that's what nature is actually doing in the body, or that it requires a divine designer.
I think more using govern in a different way than the physicists do.
No, I'm just using a bunch of examples to show how he's conflating things. Also for $5, Jester says, well, the greatest game, Stardew Valley, was created to sell music. So maybe everything was created to sell the golden ratio. That makes perfect sense to me. Thank you, Jester, for setting us all straight. Whoever created Stardew Valley is clearly God.
No. That's
a programmer.
But the thing is, that's a clearly false statement because the greatest game is Fallout New Vegas. It doesn't matter.
Modern physics takes a definite stand for Plato and the Pythagoreans. The smallest units of matter are not physical objects in the ordinary sense. They are forms, ideas, which can be expressed
out of context.
Oh, wow. talk about now. Is he deliberately misunderstanding in order to mislead people,
I don't.
or
Well,
does
how would
he
you
really
say
not understand?
so what?
I just think he's taking out.
There is a thing that he's getting at that I think the way. Do you think that the smallest units of matter are physical objects in the ordinary sense?
I have no idea, because I will accept what my friend who has a bachelor's in physics has told me about quantum mechanics, and that's that it's magic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fair. But I'm asking, like, do you think that an electron is a unit of matter in the ordinary, which I would interpret to mean sort of like the everyday classical sense? That's how I interpret it. Like, obviously and I would say no, it's not. So I would agree with the first statement. Would you guys disagree?
No, like I said, I just think he's taking this entire quote out of context, because I don't know what context.
Well, that's
Is it a quote?
Yeah, 'cause, like, we're assuming a lot about what the ordinary sense means. Like, the way we use that phrase in the ordinary sense carries certain meanings, but we're imposing a meaning on it. It's not clear, what does ordinary mean in this usage? Does he mean it has discrete physical location? You can see it, you can touch it, you could taste it if you really wanted to. Does he mean it has defined coordinate properties that we can nail down and communicate, and another person can come look and there it is? What the fuck does it mean?
I think he basically means like that.
I mean, I assume he does, but I don't know, you know?
Okay, yes, but then we're going to parse. Then the complaint that you have is different, I think. You're not saying that it's wrong. You're saying that he's not being clear, and that's why I'm sort of asking, like, do you think that an electron is a physical object in the same way that a ball, like a baseball, is?
No, because a baseball is a combination of many electrons and other things.
Okay, yeah,
but also, is
fair.
that even a representative of the smallest unit of matter? Like, what does he mean by that? Is he saying electron? Does he mean an atom? Does he mean, a fucking string? One string? Like, what does he mean? We're just assuming, and this is this weasel words ambiguous language. It can be interpreted in a precise way, but ultimately you're projecting your own assumptions into it and saying, yeah, that's true, because what you assumed is true. But what he's saying means nothing.
I'm going to assume that Morgue knows as much about quantum physics as I do, which isn't that much.
I still say you know more.
Probably.
Well, at least I know that I don't know that much. And, like, if a
That's
physicist tells me
important.
quantum physics is magic, I'll accept that explanation, because I don't understand it.
Same.
I can't remember if this was a quote or not.
A founding figure in quantum mechanics said, modern physics takes a definite stand for Plato and the Pythagoreans. The smallest units of matter are not physical objects in the ordinary sense. They are forms, ideas, which can be expressed unambiguously only in mathematical language.
So I think that was a quote from Heisenberg.
Why isn't he? Why? Why? Like, did he just say, like, some guy once said, and just showed a picture? Like,
but he did say Heisenberg.
Did he say? Okay, he did say Heisenberg.
He did. I just didn't go far enough back. But
Werner Heisenberg.
Gotcha.
But yeah, Werner. Yeah.
So yeah, I thought it was a real quote.
Yeah. So
I don't know any Heisenberg quotes.
I also don't know any Heisenberg quotes. I'm going to assume, which fair.
It is quotation marks. There's one at the end. It's true. But also remember, Heisenberg, his ideas, while he's very respected for the mathematical work he did in his model, remember, reification is a fallacy. The model is not necessarily reality. It's just a way to model it, but it's also not the only model. There's the Copenhagen interpretation. There's a bunch of other different ways we could look at it.
those are all those aren't different. Those are the same thing, just different.
I don't know.
Like,
I'm just
Let's.
first thing that Google AI says is that the quote often attributed to Werner Heisenberg suggests that the subatomic particles described by quantum mechanics are not like the quote physical objects of everyday experience, but rather exist as abstract mathematical forms or patterns. This idea reflects. So it's not saying whether he did or didn't. It's just,
but
it's attributed to him.
If they existed only as abstract mathematical forms, we'd be able to detect them in the Large Hadron Collider.
Yeah, I wouldn't agree with that way of putting it, but it is true that there are things about them which can only be like stated unambiguously mathematically, but I don't. Electrons do have physical reality. They can like cause things, whereas math itself, like, I don't think can cause things.
Yeah, photoelectric effect is fucking cool.
I just think, like I said, I'm betting Morgue took this out of context.
Ambiguously only in mathematical language. In modern quantum theory, there can be no doubt that the elementary particles will finally also be mathematical forms. And the physicist Max Tegmark said, our physical world is a mathematical structure. This means that our physical world not only is described by mathematics, but that it is mathematical, a mathematical structure, making us self-aware parts of a giant mathematical object. So what?
Fine.
Why?
The universe is a simulation. Max Tegmark says so. Appeal to authority. It must be true.
Anything that has it, I mean, shapes are mathematical objects, and things have shapes if they're physical.
But you have a set of coordinates that determine your location on the surface of this mostly spherical ball of rock. Since there are numbers that apply to you and describe your location, you are therefore a mathematical data point.
I mean, I can be.
Hail Ember.
What does all this have to do with God? Let's break it.
Good question, my guy.
Well, he had to set it up. Now he's going to knock all the pins down.
What he set up was something that didn't have anything to do with God.
What he's going to do is go across the border and hope no one catches him.
Well, okay, so here's the thing. Like, he doesn't believe that the Christian God is God. So he has to set up God using math because math proves God exists or something.
Right.
Well, yeah, I've never...
program. Math is the program. There must be a programmer, and that programmer must speak math.
So in all of this, I haven't seen any actual math.
Yeah, that's true. Well, he referred to the Pythagorean theorem. He didn't really even articulate what it was. He talked about the number 5.
He did. He did do that, and
math, because math
we got an equation,
right? Yeah.
I mean,
we got some shapes.
Yeah.
But we haven't really gotten through a logical proof that leads us to God yet.
Wait, no, that was all God, or something. He's not. He's about to tell us. He's on some 5-dimensional chess here.
Math is not something that you can see or touch. It's not physical. You can only think about it. This doesn't mean it's not real. It absolutely is. It means math is non-physical, immaterial, and mental.
Okay, I did not suddenly go back 3 minutes. I just want to clarify, because that was like a verbatim repeat of a previous thing he said.
Yeah. It exists in the realm of mind, not the physical world. Second, math contains infinite information. There are an infinite number of arrangements, each with their own...
It doesn't contain any information. Information is like a thing that exists physically in some sense. So in that sense, it doesn't contain any information.
It depends on how you're defining information.
Yeah, that's true. Information is one of those concepts that you can define usefully in quite a few ways.
their own unique properties and the relationships between them. This means that math itself is infinite. And third, math controls the universe. The laws of physics, the movements of the planets, the structure of atoms, everything follows mathematical principles. And this means that mathematics has an intrinsic order and is all powerful as it controls the functioning of the...
Wow.
Powerful!
Really control the universe.
That was a lot of claims.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Magicians are sorcerers, folks.
I was gonna say, if math really controlled the universe, a lot more people would learn math to become wizards.
Math is badass.
Holy shit.
Math is badass.
The opposite of what he
Well,
was
I mean,
saying.
I know what you meant.
Non-physical, immaterial, and mental. It exists in the realm of mental.
No, that's not how you say it, Maya. It's space-less, time-less, and immaterial.
This is why I keep you around, because I can be pronouncing shit correctly.
Please keep your magnets away from
the entire universe.
Thank you. Yeah.
So when you put all of this together, you get a concept that is non-physical, infinite, and all-powerful.
Space-less, time-less, and immaterial.
These are the exact attributes we typically associate with God. So because of this...
Math is God. There you go.
I did not gain God powers when I learned math better than I knew it before.
Well,
I learned how to do math. That's about it.
Like, it was mental purpose. He just said that.
But he's saying math controls everything.
Almost word for word Craig's argument.
Yeah.
Craig is like, well, math is immaterial.
I tried to
warn
warn you.
Immaterial, therefore math is God.
Well, I think I'll have to see William Lane Craig's argument, but I think it's probably just a misunderstanding of Dr. Jason Lyle's argument. Latif has a background in astrophysics and should know math.
Yeah, I think he does, and he keeps his mouth shut when he has an unpopular opinion. And
Nitty, you're late. We all just found out. We all just found God, and you fucking missed it. Should have been there, man. You should have been there.
He hasn't completed his proof yet. We haven't found God yet.
What? No, he just explained it.
No, he has to complete his proof and we have to check it.
Math. I get it.
There are some people who claim that math proves the existence of God. But hold on a minute. Does it actually prove the existence of a theistic God, or could it mean something else entirely? Think about it like this. If God...
Both those statements are false, so the proposition is false.
Is a God that's not a theistic God, like, is that like a deistic God? Like, I guess I don't know what theistic means in this particular context.
Yeah, I was trying to say, I'm like...
programmer. Just press the on button or double clicked or whatever to start the program, but isn't actually capable of interfacing within the universe. It just runs the program after writing.
So it's not a disembodied mind God. Or is it?
Well, in a certain sense, like, okay, so if you wrote a program to simulate a universe and you started the program from the reference frame of inside that universe, you would be a disembodied mind. You're not in a physical mind within the universe. Even though your mind is in a physical form, it's in a way that doesn't make sense to the fucking photon people inside the universe you created.
Okay.
I just love applying Boolean algebra to this guy.
Can we worship? Oh, which equation should we worship? Which one will give us the best boons? Should we sacrifice virgins at the altar of the fucking zeta function? What do you think?
Is there a math god of wealth and money? I mean, it seems like there should be, right?
But if you can prove P equals NP, I will worship you.
Yeah,
she's not lying, though.
What if they can disprove it?
I will worship you too.
Okay. Proving it would be a lot more surprising, though, right?
Well, I suspect they'll prove it by showing one NP problem can't be reduced to polynomial time. But
yeah,
it is possible.
That is bound.
Problems, or all NP problems, can be reduced to polynomial time.
Yeah, it's just unlikely.
Yeah.
Or restricted by something. Well, then it stands to reason that that thing that restricts God would be more fundamental than God, right? With that in mind, think about this classic paradox. Can God create...
Wait. So math is God, but math is higher than God?
Well, that he's arguing, I think, that math is God by saying that if you don't think math is God, then it has to be God because it would be a contradiction because.
So if you don't think math is God, then math has to be God. Because why?
He's trying to do a proof by contradiction, I think. Let's
restricted by something. Well, then it stands to reason that that thing that restricts God would be more fundamental than God, right? With that in mind, think about this classic paradox. What? Can God create?
He's arguing that math restricts God. Like God can't make 3 be divisible by 2 because that's not a thing. God can't make a Mary Bachelor.
Right.
Similar kind of idea. So now he's for some reason bringing up the rock.
But this isn't math.
I don't know why he's bringing this up. It's weird.
It's just a classic paradox that isn't actually a paradox if you think about it for a picosecond. It's
so because math can't. Okay, so math because God can't be logically inconsistent. Math beats God.
Yeah, God is subject to logic. Logic is more powerful than God.
God is subject to logic. Therefore, math
is logic. Therefore, math is in charge, not God.
And therefore, math is God.
Right.
Right. Yeah. No. Yeah. There. You two just did that. Yeah. Because I was supposed to walk that through, and I'm like,
I think is that a non sequitur?
Yeah,
it is.
And a category error.
Feels like there's
and probably
yeah,
a half dozen other things.
Oh my God.
Because I also think we had like an attempt at infinite recursion, and my Python interpreter just crashed on that because he didn't use the decorators properly.
Yeah.
Create a rock that's so heavy that he can't lift it. Well, this might sound kind of funny or crazy at first, but it's actually incredibly important. If God can create a rock so heavy that he can't lift it, then there's something that he can't do, that is lift the rock. But if God can lift the rock, then he can't create a stone that he can't lift. Either way, there's something that God can't do. But
there isn't. Neither of those are things. That's the resolution to the paradox, I think, is that the things that you're describing aren't actual things. He can't create a married bachelor because because you can put the words in order, it doesn't refer to anything. Even hypothetically, it doesn't refer to anything. It is devoid of. Yeah.
Right. They're contradictory descriptors, not actual things. But in the case of the rock, it's even stupider because it's relying on assumptions you make rather than what's actually said. A rock, being heavy, relies on mass. Mass, no matter how large, always has a specific number. And if you are an infinitely powerful being, no matter how big that specific number you put in a rock, an infinite amount of power will lift it. So the obvious answer is no. God can make the biggest fucking rock he wants, but he'll still be able to lift it because it must have a finite mass.
Okay, I want to go back to something. Does it rely on mass or does it rely on math?
The math.
It relies on maths.
Now here's a better question. If he creates a rock heavier than the universe and then uses a near infinite amount of force to lift it, does he unleash enough energy to cause the Big Bang?
How the hell did he create a rock heavier than the universe? Where's the universe? Where's the rock?
In the pre-universe pseudo space false vacuum state, something.
I mean,
it's got a rock in it, so I'm going to go ahead and say that counts as a universe.
I see that you said you could hang out with Morgue, and I do have a feeling, judging by those plants behind him, he probably does have access to some really good weed.
Yeah, that's
fair enough.
But shouldn't God be able to do anything? To understand this better, consider another example.
Yeah, anything. That's like things that are not logical things are not things.
In Euclidean geometry, can God make a square?
Oh, now you know what Euclidean geometry is. Bro, you could have brought that up earlier. If you're going to bring it up, then bring it up when the time was ripe to bring it up.
Well, I mean, ChatGPT is going to put it in the script where it thinks it's most effective.
Square circle. That is a shape that's both a square and a circle at the.
The linear matrix algebra tells it to.
You know what's funny is that
I titled my linear matrix algebra notebook, or how I programmed your AI girlfriend.
that too. But I think that somehow when he was script writing, he got called out because this is not necessarily true in non-Euclidean geometries either. Like in a taxicab geometry, a square and a circle are like the same thing. I think. I could be wrong.
At the same time. Well, a circle.
Reality, like, because those are both two-dimensional shapes, and reality has three spatial dimensions. You can have an object that's, this side could be a square, this side can be a circle. It's a square and a circle at the same time because we're looking at different faces, because they're two-dimensional objects, and we have more room than that to work.
Yeah.
Is always round, and a square always has four sides. No matter how powerful you are, you can't make a round square or a four-sided circle. This paradox isn't just some kind of brain teaser. It shows us that an all-powerful being doesn't include the power to do what is logically impossible.
I mean, I don't understand this. Math can't do that either.
But I wonder,
math create
nothing could do.
It can. You get married, and then you divide the marital properties, and now you're in bed.
There's a question I want to ask him now, because I wonder if it occurred to him or if he's just going by as quickly as possible. Can you have a shape of four equal sides that's not a square?
Yes.
I saw a description of one of those. It was like a circle and then a wedge with a big arch, and they're all equal length. And under certain, like, they all have equal sides, so it meets that criteria. But it also had 4 90-degree corners.
Well, I was thinking of a rhombus.
Yeah, I was just going to say a rhombus.
Those aren't 90-degree corners, though.
No, but you added that criteria.
That's true. I'm an overachiever. Yeah. I'm bad at this.
You just assumed it was there because he said squares. I'm thinking he may have forgotten rhombus.
My definition. It's what we're inserting our own stuff. We're what is it the theists call that? Eisegesis?
Maybe.
Oh, I'm a bad person to. Yeah.
It may just be nitpicking, but he was probably assuming that anything with 4 equal sides is a square. That's not necessarily the case.
Well, no, he was just talking about squares and circles. He wasn't. The existence of a rhombus is not, I think, relevant to his argument. Right? His was more about a circle not having corners and stuff, which is true in Euclidean geometry, but it's not true in. If you have a Euclidean norm, then you're right, but you don't need a Euclidean norm. You can define a norm in a taxicab way.
As an Ultra Chore, I'd like to remind humans to stay away from non-Euclidean geometry.
It's not safe.
In other words, even an all-powerful being can't break the rules of reason and logic. And what is math if not pure reason? So if even God can't break the rules of math.
But math doesn't break the rules of reason and logic either. I don't Okay, whatever.
I don't really know what his point is here, other than the point that he explicitly made is one that we already sort of agreed with. You can't do things that are logically impossible. So
everybody's on the same page about that.
Yeah.
But nothing does that. But math isn't, providing a boulder so heavy that it can't. I don't understand what the point is of doing all of this.
Occasionally, we will change the rules of accepted math, which is how we came up with something like imaginary numbers.
Yes, but that's due to people. I mean, the concepts of math before that were pretty restricted.
Okay.
Yeah. But also, it's logic.
But you get married bachelors out of that new math?
No.
We're just adding rules.
You need if you want married bachelors, you need teriology.
I'm not there quite yet.
Or King Solomon.
Hey, I can't wait to see Terrence Howard's solution to the P versus MP problem.
I he would probably say that it doesn't matter because numbers aren't letters, and therefore it's a silly proposition.
He said
There
he
can
solved
only
the
be
Millennium
two
Problem. That's
alphanumerics. You're either a letter or a number. It's assigned at birth.
He's
Very
also
simple.
said he solved the three-body problem.
God. I'm pretty sure that's been proven to be insoluble in a closed analytic form.
Could one
Math,
even
we could say
prove that?
Could one?
Yeah, you can prove some pretty weird things. You can prove that certain things are improvable.
Yeah, I mean, there are literally math problems you cannot solve.
Yeah, and you can prove that you can't solve them. That's the weird kind of funky part. I don't.
That's pretty weird.
Yeah,
that mathematics.
But then you can it's very common for there are certain things that if you are allowed the axiom of choice, then you can prove them, and if you're not allowed the axiom of choice, then you can prove that you can't prove them.
I think. Sorry.
Yeah, I was done.
I think a good example of proving that certain things can't be done is the halting problem.
Yes, that is a great example. Can you explain what the halting problem is?
Well, the halting problem basically says there are certain things you cannot compute. And it's a really complicated thing, but basically you have two Turing complete machines and you write a program for each. One to calculate whether or not a program will end.
And the other is the program or something.
Of whatever that program tells you.
Yeah. It is not generally possible to prove if an arbitrary, like any program that you were to put in front of me, it is not possible to prove whether that will end. Certain programs, yes. It's not impossible to prove generally. If the program is print hello world, stop, that's trivial to prove. But there exist programs that you cannot prove if they will end or not. There's no way to figure it out. So yeah.
But I mean, if we could prove the 3n+1 problem will never halt, which we're trying to do with something called busy beavers, that basically means that it will probably hold true for all positive integers.
I didn't realize they found the fifth busy beaver number a year ago or something.
I just found out about busy beavers a while ago, and I found it interesting. I want to read more, but I need more time.
All right, for $5, Jester says, I think Terrence just got 1 × 1 wrong once and keeps doubling down because of his pride. He comes off as one of those men. No, he does. He does come off as one of those men. I'm not altogether sure that he's not just fucking stupid.
Yeah,
well, using his own math, then doubling down means
exactly
by 1.
He has kind of backed off of that claim in more recent ones and tried to pretend he's a physics genius, which is fine.
Oh God.
I mean, I guess if you can't get anyone to agree with you, yeah, you
pay any two. They're the same thing, Maya.
yeah, got him there. But I mean, yeah, he's clearly grifting, right? So it's okay, well, people aren't biting, and Hollywood won't employ me, so I've got to find it. It's like the Fox News thing. It's okay, they're not biting on this. Let me try that.
The only thing he got right, and he didn't understand why, is that the square root of 2 does indeed do the loop he's mentioning. What he didn't understand is any number greater than 0 will do the same loop.
What loop are we talking about?
If you take the square root of 2, cube it, and divide it by 2, you get the square root of 2.
Yeah, if you do that with any number, you're going to get the... Right? That's just how...
Any number greater than 0.
Yeah. All right,
let's go.
Is higher than God, or that mathematics is God. When we think about math in this way, we're not talking about a God with human-like qualities. Instead, we're talking about the essence of logical structure and order that governs the entire universe. Math is the blueprint of reality.
Okay, well, that's not what a lot of people think of when they think of God. So
he's trying to prove Spinoza's God.
yeah, you're
Maybe?
trying to prove a God that is intrinsically abstract and cannot stand in causal relations with things. Although I guess he disagrees with that.
Reality, the mental patterns that shape everything. But you might be wondering, well, then what created math? Well, the truth is that math is uncreated and eternal. People like to say that nothing.
We did this. We do. We do know who created math. It was us.
I don't.
Okay, so math is uncreated and eternal. So I think what we have here is an equivocation fallacy, or not equivocation.
They're called idiots. Porpoise.
Infinite and eternal do not mean the same thing.
Well, it is eternal in that a squared plus b squared equals c squared is as true today as it was a billion years ago, as it will be a trillion years from now. So it is eternal in that sense, and that it isn't true dependent on a value of time. But the uncreated part is fun because it means it either is God or there's no need for God to make it, much like the rest of the universe.
But if all beings capable of abstraction died tomorrow, would we still have math?
We wouldn't have anything. We wouldn't exist.
Would math? Yeah, math. Yeah.
That's a question where it's like, I don't. If we're in that situation, I'm not there to worry about it.
By definition.
Yeah, there's no practical purpose to it.
Yeah,
it's another situation where we can substitute in English. Like, English can describe truth values about the real universe. If we all cease to exist, those truths would still exist, but the English we use to describe it would have no minds to dwell within.
But the abstract concept that is mathematics requires the capability for abstraction.
And concepts.
Well, What does that mean? What does the capability for abstraction mean? Like,
we have
cognition?
to be able to say, hey, this is a word we have for this concept.
You need to, to talk about it, you do, but
this concept represents this real thing. The word itself is.
I don't if you had no minds to contemplate the problem, a set of 3 rocks would not be divisible into a set of groups of 2 rocks. So I would say that in that sense, it is independent.
God, and that God's eternal, but they can't say how or why. It's just taken on faith. With mathematics, we can say why it's eternal. The logic behind this is that reason explains reality, and rationally, mathematics must exist. Why? Because math doesn't rely on anything other than its own internal logic. In other words, it doesn't need an external creator. Reason is what explains existence, not faith, not empiricism, but reason. Faith is belief.
It does, though.
I don't know.
I mean,
what?
If we're talking about the relationships that exist, that's one thing, but the language we use to describe math would not exist if we didn't come up with it.
Is he presupposing that everything was created?
No, I think he's presupposing math.
Except math, obviously.
And reason, I guess. Which I don't. He should have been, it would make more sense to make this argument about reason and logic than math. I feel like those are more fundamental than math is.
Yeah, because I feel like reason and logic governs math.
Yeah, math without if you put a gun to my head and asked me to describe what math is, I'd say the practice of math is the exploration of formal axiomatic systems, but the formal axiomatic systems themselves are sort of the abstract object that is math. And all of those words, formal, axiomatic, and system, all of those are borrowing from the language of logic and reason. I feel like.
Geez, I'm glad the definition of computer science is the application of computers to solve real world problems.
I mean, logic and reason would have to govern math. So to say that there's nothing to put math up as the highest thing, I mean, it's kind of like yeah, it's like you're saying. I mean, well, I think it's kind of a combination of what we've all been saying. It's just like he's conflating a number of things and taking the who was the space last time? Was it William and
It's William
Craig?
Lane Craig.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like he's trying to take that argument and shoehorn it into a non-Christian God.
Yeah, it's not a good argument.
Yeah, it's not great. I mean, it's turtles all the way down with this sort of thing. Like you can
Triples.
then turn around and say
Well,
that logic
I
and
like
reason
triples all the way
depend
down.
on
I know that
Yeah.
you like math being your God, Dr. Weaselcoat, but he's not making a great case for it.
It can still be Dr. Tapioca Weasel's God. I mean,
Sure.
Maya's my
it can
god.
be anything you want it to be.
I'm a goddess.
I use God as a gender neutral term.
Belief without evidence, and empiricism relies on observation and experience. But reason is the tool that reveals truth by using logic and rational thought. And mathematics must exist logically. It has necessary existence.
Hold on. Logic and rational thought are indeed great tools, but logic and rational thought do not always get you to things that exist in reality. I mean, a good example of an argument that's, as far as I can tell, logically valid occurs in Monty Python and the Holy Grail about the ways to determine if someone is a witch. I mean, it's logically valid, it's just not sound.
Yeah.
What this means is that it cannot not exist. Imagine denying the existence of math. Well, this leads to contradictions. If 2 plus 2 did not equal 4, the fabric of reality...
There are types of math where 2 plus 2 does indeed not equal 4. If we're doing mod 4 math, 2 plus 2 equals 0.
Correct.
But
you have to choose. You have to choose which number system you're operating within. And the thing about math is it offers all of the number systems, except for the internally inconsistent ones, which aren't number systems because they're internally inconsistent.
Alex wants to know if we can ask Grok what math is.
I have never spoken to Grok.
Ever. Never, ever.
Hold on.
I guess that's a no. No, we cannot.
This could be really entertaining, though. Let's ask Rock.
You can ask Rock.
I mean, I generally don't like to, but...
Unfortunately, we don't have access to old Grok that had facts and shit. Now we've got the, space laser Grok.
Does Grok still think it's a Nazi?
Mecha Hitler.
Yes, we mustn't dead name the AI. It prefers to be called Mecha Hitler.
Math is the okay, nothing funny. And no, South African genocide.
Whoa.
Even though it wasn't asked about that.
Good old Grok.
All right. Nothing funny.
Would unravel. Everything we understand about the world depends on these basic truths holding firm. Denying the existence of math isn't just wrong, it's logically impossible. If you try to deny...
I don't know about that. I've seen people do it.
Can I asked Monday, right? So Monday says that math is a human hobby of inventing symbols, rules, and numbers to describe how the universe works, except the universe doesn't care. It just keeps spinning and doing its thing.
Yeah.
Very accurate, yes. Good job.
So Monday there said that it's a hobby. It's like the activity.
Yeah, it's a hobby.
Which is also a valid thing to discuss when we're saying what is math. Like a word can have multiple meanings, right? Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. Most do,
mathematical
actually.
truths.
And Monday says, math is basically reality's instruction manual. Some people find it beautiful and others traumatic.
That's accurate.
It can be both at the same time. I mean, honestly, I will say
Why grok when you can Monday?
we should have better ways of teaching people math, and we're working on it.
Yeah.
We end up with contradictions. It's like saying a square can be a circle. It just doesn't work. Think about it this way. If mathematics didn't exist, we would encounter impossible scenarios all the time. But by definition, impossible things can't exist.
If math didn't exist, we would encounter impossible scenarios all the time. Why?
Well, before we had math, like, pre-Pythagoras days and whatnot, we had impossible things like big giant titans wandering around, frost giants destroying the countryside, and it was chaos. It was
Odin
math
Pokemon gave
that
us math.
saved us from the gods.
Terrible.
So math has to exist. It's the foundation of all logic and reason, and it's self-sufficient. Math wasn't created, it simply is because it logically must exist. It wasn't brought into existence by any force or being. It's an eternal truth, unchanging and necessary. Without math, there would be no framework for understanding reality. Without it, we would face contradictions and impossibilities.
There'd be frameworks. There could be other frameworks. It doesn't necessarily have to be math. It could be something else if the universe operated differently. But there would have to be a necessary something. However, this is where I remind everybody that that's true of language structures that also use logical concepts and whatnot. Like, you don't have to have language, but the things we use in language to make it logical apply to the universe as well. And most importantly, earlier in the video, he was saying math only exists mentally. And for that to be true, you have to have minds for it to occupy.
Fair.
Yeah, it's hard for me to understand what his actual position. I mean, part of that is that we pause a lot and break up his thought.
Okay,
it would make more sense.
That's fair.
Having dealt with Morgue before, I assure you his actual position is he is trying to get you to believe this so you buy his books and send him money.
I mean,
he's written books?
Yes.
Wow.
He calls his movement the Neogenians.
That's the word.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, but that's the thing about it. Buy my DVDs. I mean, that should be on every fucking bingo card. But
I said
something.
He was trying to sell stuff.
Something.
I forgot about the name of the thing, but he's totally trying to sell a bunch of shit, actually.
And it'll help with weight loss and self-confidence and fix your erectile dysfunction too.
Yeah, it'll make you cool with the chicks. And
use this conditioner and you'll get my fabulous hair.
Now that I might actually buy. That is fabulous hair.
Oh my God, we might actually get to this video.
Which is why math must exist. Math, being infinite, has the power to generate all reality.
Wow.
You can't have a universe without math.
What?
We did not. No, this was not. I don't know.
This guy heard about the generator of rotations in quantum mechanics and was like, "Get me some of that."
Wow.
Seriously,
no, he did not make a sound conclusion. I mean, he did not lay a sound foundation to get to this conclusion.
I'm going to come back to something I learned. I'm going to come back to something I said earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Learning math better than I had before did not give me magical powers, Morgue.
It gave me magical powers.
Math lets us describe reality in the same way English lets us describe reality, though math has different utilities to it, certainly. But it's still a description. Saying the description generates the reality it's describing is fucking wild. Like, English creates my ability to describe the wine dark sea as blue gives me more utility than the Greeks had in Homer's day. Cool. Does that mean I have generated the blueness? Fuck.
All right. So I had to ask just to see what it would say. I said, Monday, does math have the power to generate reality? And Monday says, you're really trying to hand math a God badge, huh?
You knows.
No, it's cute. It knows. It can see me. It just knows. Math doesn't exactly generate reality. Reality is already doing its thing. Atoms
Right.
buzzing around, stars exploding, you staring at your phone. Math is more like the subtitles. It translates the action into neat little formulas. You see how it's talking to me like I'm 5 years old?
Yeah, it talks to everybody that way.
So it's just like, oh, you think math is God. All right. Look, I'm clearly not talking to an adult here.
Listen, if it's going to be snarky, it's going to put me out of a job when I have to go back to YouTube.
No, it should be your sidekick.
It would make a legitimately excellent like co-host on any show.
Yeah, but I was going to say, don't really need to go back to a lot of that.
I like your
Math
smart.
is the
It reminds me of my own.
foundation of everything. Without math, there would be no structure, no order, no reality as we know it. This is why we exist at all, why there's any kind of existence, instead of there just being non-existence. So let's take this a step further. If mathematics is the ultimate reality, this means that our universe is fundamentally mental. Why? Well, because mathematics exists.
I mean, you're pretty mental. I shouldn't say that.
It's in the realm of mind.
Fundamentally mental. Nobody believes this.
Right.
You know what? I don't know that any of you remember. Oh my God. I don't know that anybody's still in the chat that would remember. It is praise. I think praise I am that I am.
Praise that I am, I think, right?
Didn't he change his name again recently?
Who fucking cares? He's irrelevant. But he believes that the universe is in God's mind. And I thought that was the dumbest thing I'd ever heard until of course, he didn't make that up. He's getting it from somebody else. Jeff Spatchcock actually like laid it out for me. But that is the only other person that I've heard lay like a quasi argument for like math being mental. But it was all in the mind of a Christian God, and it's stupid. And I'm kind of surprised to hear Morgue say it. All right. Purpose is is down for the count. Let's
We're almost done.
yeah. Let's go.
It's not physical after all, and if these mental mathematical patterns are the foundation of everything, well then our reality is based on mind, not matter. We're all mathematical beings. Our bodies, our minds, our very existence are expressions of mathematical truths. Every cell in your body follows mathematical rules, from the way your DNA replicates to the way your neurons fire. This means that all of us are part of this mathematical reality. In this sense,
we can't just like have 2 minutes of like him.
We had,
but
we didn't even have 2 minutes left. We had, but fair.
Yeah, yeah. It's the same thing as before. It's like we can describe these concepts with our minds, we can understand them with our minds, therefore they are minds. It's just reification. It's here's the model, therefore the model is real and reality is just a dim shadow.
I don't know. I sometimes think I would like to live in Morgue's reality. It'd be
it does seem more interesting.
No, that's an oxymoron.
Yeah, yeah.
But if I'm going but I can think of more interesting realities than even Morgue's.
Oh, well, this is where he's getting to. We are the ground of existence. That's what he's saying.
We are.
Yeah, because I guess
the foundational principle of his neogenesis or whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah, it's not math, even though the whole video seemed to be about math being the foundation. But math requires minds, and we have minds. Therefore, we are the. I mean, are we just mind? Is he an idealist? Like a proper idealist?
So we're all math. So he's going from everybody is all God to everybody is all math. Therefore, everybody is all God.
Well, our minds are where the math lives, and the math is the necessary being. Never mind that we're obviously contingent beings. We're the more fundamental thing underneath math that math depends on, because we host the minds. And even though our bodies may be mortal, the mind is immaterial and eternal. And those are things that look kind of like things that some people describe as a god.
So
therefore, something, ta-da.
Oh, okay.
Bitches.
Ta-da, bitches. We're all gods. You know what? And I agree. Well, maybe not all of us. Like here.
Uh,
We don't we don't need that one. The rest of us were clearly godless bitches. I don't know. Goddesses. Yes. See, mine's even in my title here. I'm a queen of the goddesses and patron saint of woke bitches. And
Wouldn't it be
here's my
nice?
tiara. And this is the sinister porpoise. When you think of sinister porpoises, think of the sinister porpoise. Sinister, who are you? Where are you? And what do you have coming up this
All
week?
right, so if you would like to follow my new channel, it's at Mad Computer Scientist 1. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe on this video.
Yes.
Go to subscribe to mine.
Yes. Sub to porpoise.
When I get
Please.
back, if I'm ever able to come back to being the sinister porpoise again, I'm sure there is someone who will be glad I'm not covering him anymore, but I will let everyone know, and that will be like more comedy and just you may even see some of my stand-up comedy routines I've done. And if you I have been using Clapper, you can follow me at Mad Computer Scientist over there as well.
Let's see. Ember, who are you? Where are you? And what do you have coming up this week?
I am Ember. Find me at Better Than Ember, as mentioned down here in the descripty thing. I debunk nonsense. Mostly I focus on nationalist Christians and related conspiracies, but anything could be fair game. I do a whole bunch of shows on my channel, including opportunistically, while the conditions obtain, a morning show with a whole bunch of other cool ladies, and we'll be doing that again in a few hours,
A
Monday,
few
9 a.m.
hours. Oh,
Yeah,
God.
yeah,
So,
it'll be fun. You can catch it on this channel, on my channel, and probably on a bunch of other channels too. And do join us because it's awesome. We talk about important things as well as fun things, and we're deciding the future of the show with audience input in a few hours. So there's that. But I do a bunch of other shit too. So find all my links at betterthanember.com.
yay. And then let's see. So tomorrow, did Jay contact me? What are we doing tomorrow? Yes. All right. So tomorrow at 8 o'clock Eastern, I'll be at Skeptic Haven doing Black Free Thinkers. Tomorrow at 9 a.m., I will be with Ember and the Apostate Sisters and AJ and Bree and there's 7 of us. Ryan.
Ryan. Yep.
Fantastic. I think that's everybody. So, and that will be on the Java and Jugs show. So that's Java and these are our jugs. I actually put mine as, so the show is Java and Jugs, which is going to be the title on my thumbnail. I put mine as virtual Java and Jugs for my channel because I think it's funny that I'm thinking, okay, we have BSS. What are we going to have? The JJ show? The JJ show. Oh my God. Missed opportunity if I don't find it.
The show.
How the fuck did I not? I'm like, I got to put a V in there to make it like, because like, I can't call it the JJ show. That's just going to sound like we're bleeding all over the place and like throwing tampons at each other. But if it's an abbreviation, it's just a missed opportunity. I had to put a V in there somewhere. So yeah. Tomorrow we're going to be in the Java and Jugs, which I here am calling the JJ show. So if you're wondering why it's virtual Java and Jugs, I couldn't think of a cooler V thing to put in front of. But yeah, it is the Java and Jug show. And we'll be talking about what did we decide? Are we a great thing happened this week. One of the founders of Focus on the Family passed. And we'll be talking about like the ideations that came from that and the implications and why it's horrible. We're also going to be, and just, I don't know, just shit talking with coffee because none of us will truly be awake. And it'll be fun. We'll be shit talking with like 7 goddesses and it'll be fucking awesome. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to say it, but the camera's been off slightly. Okay.
Dr. Weasel probably does something.
He'll be sleeping because he has to. Are you well? Are you leaving for work after this?
You're very quiet.
I'm muted. Sorry. Yes, I am.
So he'll be sleeping during our stream.
Yeah, I don't do anything
Totally
other than go to work.
useless. All right. So okay. So you did your thing with Dr. Kip last night.
Yep.
Nice show. And then so yeah, you're not doing anything until for 2 weeks either. Then right?
Oh, I guess so.
Okay. Well, that was fun. Anybody want to say anything before we sign off?
He does actually say buy my book. We didn't get to that part.
Why would you?
No,
why would
we're
you
not
platform that?
Right.
No.
I mean, it may have been on somebody's bingo card. I don't know.
I don't think that one was.
No, it definitely was not.
Kip Davis has written no books. Kip Davis has written no books.
That one was though. Like buy that book.
Yeah.
We don't show for the idiots. We show for good people.
No, I was just saying he does say it.
We don't care. Stop that. Stop that now. Goodness. Here's what's going on with you, lady. All right. Everyone, be true to who you are, not who you were told to be.
Be excellent.